Please welcome to the stage SMMT President, George Gillespie.
Honoured guests, it is genuinely a real honour for me to be here as President of the SMMT tonight. And thank you, Minister, for your supportive words. It's clear you've been listening. I think your speech and my speech are going to align pretty well. We're going to hit the same topics. So, Mike mentioned COB, and this evening I'd like to expand on that and build on the theme that the Prime Minister used at COB of James Bond and 1 minute to midnight. You know, when I was a boy, it's every boy's fantasy to be James Bond. And since this is my last year as President, please indulge me for a few minutes so that I can play my role. Hey, you know, it could be worse. I just couldn't work out any way to get Peppa Pig into a business speech. So I have the suit, I have the drink, and I'm told, at least for tonight, I have a license to thrill. So, but like any good Bond movie, the automotive industry and the story of our industry has many plot twists, and there has to be a baddie. And a few years ago, some would have had you believe that the baddie was us. You know, working for a car company was becoming similar to being compared to working in the tobacco industry. We were a punch bag for environmentalists, for politicians, and the public were increasingly distrusting us. But now look at this industry. You know, we've invested billions in creating some of the most exciting electric vehicles in the world. There are over 115 zero-emission capable vehicles on sale in the UK right now. And, you know, like an old Aston Martin in a Bond movie, they're beautiful to look at and fantastic to drive. And because of this, we've inspired the public to buy these vehicles in numbers more than we've ever seen before. But then, here's the twist. Like Bond's Beretta, something is jammed, and that's our charging infrastructure. Honestly, I think Spectre probably has a better coverage in the UK than our charging network. And it's been okay. For the last 5 years, as the EV market has developed, we've been selling to early adopters. And they're willing to put up with the complexities and the complications of a rather nascent public charging system. But now we're selling to people who just want a brilliant car and, more importantly, a hassle-free journey. And I'm beginning to hear complaints, and I suspect you might be as well, even from experienced engineers within our industry. They're finding it's frustrating that we find blocked chargers, broken chargers, multiple apps, confusing payment schemes. And this is quickly going to start to turn off people from EVs. And all the work we've done in developing these fantastic vehicles will be wasted. A little bit like a DB5 going off a cliff in the south of France. And we know drivers enjoy the ingenuity of their EVs, but it's going to end badly if, to be honest, searching for the next live charger is going to turn out to be more of a Hitchcock suspension movie. movie. We must address this urgently across government and industry. And I'm very pleased to hear the comments from the Minister tonight, because that's reflecting that they're listening to what I see as the key challenge. On the road to zero, I genuinely believe in the industry, we're in the fast lane. So we'll bring the vehicles, you have to bring the power. So, Build Back Better, levelling up, Global Britain. You know, whatever is this week's slogan, I genuinely believe the automotive industry is the best sector to actually deliver those slogans. Do you want a high-wage, high-productivity economy distributed across the UK regions that generates more than 73 billion of trade every year? Well, we've got that. And let's talk about Global Britain. So the Automotive Council has recently completed the International Competitiveness Survey. And it shows where we win, but also where we need to do better. And clearly, it's coming out in January, but tonight I can touch on a few highlights. It tells you that we're among the best in terms of labour productivity and labour flexibility, but also for industry and university collaboration. But we have challenges as well. We need access to skilled staff. We need free access to key markets. And we need the right government incentives to develop technologies and critically, help industry deal with the rising and uncompetitive transport and energy costs. You know, I am so proud of this industry that I work in. I know it's tough out there every day, managing our way through a global pandemic, absorbing the challenges that Brexit has thrust upon us, and on top of all that, dealing with an unprecedented global supply chain disruption. But through it all, we are delivering. You know, we might not be as good as the government at coming up with snappy slogans, but my God, we can deliver some of the best vehicles in the world. And thanks to all of you, for this industry, tomorrow never dies. Now, I hope you've all seen the latest Bond movie, because here comes a spoiler. Bond doesn't make it off the island. It's the end of James Bond. It's the end of 007. So what happens next? Well, why don't we let the SMMT give you a little hint? You know, my time in this role is finishing, and I am incredibly proud to say that my successor as president of the SMMT, for the first time in our history, is a woman. So let me introduce UK Group Managing Director and Senior Vice President of Stellantis, the exceptionally talented Alison Jones. Alison is a well-known leader in our industry, and I'm sure she will bring strong leadership to the SMMT in these challenging times. So congratulations, Alison, and good luck. I'm sure you will enjoy the challenges as much as I have. And Alison, she will have a great team behind her. And so I would like to thank Mike and all of his colleagues for their brilliant support over the last 3 years. This has been a tumultuous period, but we should never forget that the automotive industry was one of the few industries specifically supported by the government in the final Brexit negotiations. This was because we as an industry spoke with one clear and unambiguous voice, and that voice was the SMMT. So, in closing, I'd like to thank you for indulging my Bond fantasy for a few minutes, but it's time to roll the credits. Please enjoy the rest of your evening, and if we meet in the bar later, mine's a martini shake. No, it's not actually. It's a gin and tonic, as most of you know. So enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you.